We're going to choose to not go on vacation in Florida or Old Orchard Beach or wherever. We're going to choose to try to buy Canadian products and forego bourbon and other classic American products. And yeah, we're probably going to keep booing the American anthem.
Yeah, that last bit may not do a lot of economic damage necessarily, although, American companies that like put on events and stuff like that in Canada, which happens. I watch the WWE, that might potentially hurt you. But there was Justin Trudeau pointing out that while Canada is smaller than America economically, they can still do a lot of damage and they're ready to do that. We're already seeing boycotts of American products. Canada is a big trading partner, not only because we get things from them, but they buy things from us, or at least they did. But it now seems like a lot of Canadians are feeling like it is patriotic to forego buying American goods. So again, that does damage in the opposite direction to us. Our companies are going to make less money. They're going to have to fire people because we're not going to be selling products to these other countries. And not just Canada, but Mexico and China as well. But don't worry, Donald Trump has a solution. And it's the same as his solution to every other problem. He says, please explain to Governor Trudeau, see, I called him governor, that when he puts on a retaliatory tariff on the US, a reciprocal tariff will immediately increase by a like amount. Okay, so the idea is we put a 25% tariff on them, which they do the same to us, which of course they're going to do. And then he's gonna jump our tariff on them from 25 to 50% time. Okay, so the goal seems to be just eventually doubling the price, tripling the price of everything that we buy from them and everything that they buy from us. Does this seem like diplomacy? Does this seem like negotiation? What he is assuming he will be able to do is, we're gonna screw you over and you're just going to take it. Okay, you're gonna take it economically, and also for all the politicians in Canada who will have to show restraint and not do these retaliatory tariffs, you will take it politically, because when you bow down to us and are okay with this, you don't do retaliatory tariffs, politically, you're probably going to be done, but we expect that you'll do it anyway. And it's wild times, maybe that's how it'll work out. I kind of doubt it. And so either Donald Trump is gonna have to blink on this, or he'll raise the prices even more, again, for us, and make it even less likely that Canada will buy our products. All of this doing just constant damage to us. But that said, Trudeau had one more bit of a message to Americans. Here it is.
I want to speak first directly to the American people. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning, markets are down and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. They've chosen to sabotage their own agenda that was supposed to usher in a new golden age for the United States. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today.
Yeah, it's weird times that we live in right now, that it feels like the head of Canada has our best interests at heart, and the head of our country has, best case scenario, Russia's best interests at heart. Are they doing musical chairs with like the heads of state around the globe? But anyway, no, he doesn't want this. And why doesn't he want this? Because it's also bad for Canada. Again, not just that we put tariffs on them is bad for Canada, their retaliatory tariffs are bad for Canada. Just the same as ours are, but his arm is being twisted, and what is he supposed to do? What would you do if you were in charge of one of these countries? You do the same thing that he's gonna have to do, because that's simply how it works. And so those tariffs are coming up. We can put up the graphics as we discuss, but they're announcing big tariffs on all these different products, and China's doing the same thing, by the way. They just announced 15% tariffs on chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton imports from the US, 10% additionally on sorghum, soybeans, pork, beef, aquatic products, fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. So again, American farmers, Trump said, have fun. are you gonna have fun when they're buying much less of your product? I don't know why you would. And so again, I care about American farmers. I wish that Donald Trump did as well, Sharon.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be a nothing burger in the end after a lot of pain, a lot of trauma to people in a number of these countries. And what's gonna happen is at some point, the grown-ups, Trudeau and others, are going to say, well, let's just stop this. They're not gonna really give any concessions. They're just gonna say, let's just stop this. And Trump's gonna go ahead and stop it. And then he's gonna go stumping across or send out his surrogates like JD, who, by the way, is lucky he wasn't hurt skiing in Vermont in jeans, people are saying. He was wearing jeans on the slopes. I don't know if that's a big deal or not. I don't know, I'm not a great skier. People yell at me, get off, you're moving too slow. But anyway, he's gonna send them out and they're gonna claim, oh, victory and strength, and I'm a dictator and see what I've done. And in the end, people will have just been, decimated. Some small businesses will go out. Some final mile companies will be decimated by this. And he'll say, I did it. Strength, America first, when all he did was cause chaos. And the grown-up said, let's just tell him that everything's fine. We can go back to being cool now. It's just pathetic.
Yeah. And I guess that's kind of the best case scenario, is that eventually they back off. Likely because in the same way that when he delayed the tariffs, Trump will claim they gave him something or whatever, which maybe they will, probably they won't. And he'll back off, and then the markets will go back up. And then that'll be the final part of what you identified earlier and what I identified yesterday, which is the wealthy in America will have had this opportunity during the Trump crash to buy up stock cheap. And then Donald Trump will just stop doing the things he's doing to hurt the markets. And so the markets will go back up and they'll generate, I don't know, $100 trillion in value or some insane number. And ProPublica will do a great report of it. And they'll list how Elon Musk made $100 billion and Jeff Bezos made $50 billion, and we'll do a clip on it. And then that'll happen. And the next time the Republicans get in charge, they'll crash the economy once again so they can benefit. And we get screwed every time, they get rich every time. The cycle will just continue. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.